Whatsoever I feared has come to light. Whatsoever I thought of became my life. Just when every day seems to greet me with a smile, sunspots are fading. Now I'm doing time. Now I'm doing time. 'Cause I fell on black days. I fell on black days. Whomsoever I could have sickened now, whomsoever I cradled I've put you down. Searchlight, so they say, but I can't see it in the night. I'm only faking when I get it right. When I get it right. 'Cause I fell on black days. I fell on black days. How would I know that this could be my fate? How would I know that this could be my fate? Oh, yeah. What you wanted to see good has made you blind, and what you wanted to be yours has made it mine. Don't you lock up something that you wanted to see fly. Hands off for shaking, not tying, not tying. You don't mind a change. You don't mind a change. Yeah, you don't mind a change. Yeah, you don't mind a change. Yeah, 'cause I
break my rusty cage and run. Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on?
Good morning and welcome back to the trailer park. It's been a while. It's been a long while. How is everybody? Let me get the chat brought up. Wow, we had some issues. I launched and it didn't launch. I have a lot of gremlins and bugs in the studio since I haven't used it in a month. But I think we got most of them worked out. I think we're live on most channels. So yay, we are victorious this morning. Happy Hello Monday in 2025 to everybody who's joining me this morning. I see you guys pouring in. Those were great covers, weren't they? Soundgarden. We're going to talk about Soundgarden and Hollywood. They did some bad shit that I'm not happy about, but we will talk about it towards the end of the show. So you will have to stay with me if you, Grapevine especially, you are gonna flip when you see what Soundgarden did this weekend. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Anyways, good morning everybody out there. I see Grapevine hanging out. I would like to know Kurt Cobain called Sell Out Rockers corporate rock. Yeah, yeah, Kurt Cobain. You know, I living where I live and in the 90s being married to a musician who was very prominent, who knew everybody in the scene up and down Washington State. I kind of hated Nirvana at the time. I have a great appreciation for them now, but yeah, they were overplayed. I was oversaturated, you know. Smells Like Teen Spirit never stopped playing in Seattle. It fucking sucked in the 90s. But I love them now. Anyways, good morning, Chris Foster. Good to see ya. Says Shanda, looking good. Thank you. I don't feel like I look very good and I don't feel very good, but I'm here and I'm holding on. Peace stuff. Good to see you. Good morning. Dabby Dabs. Good to see you. I gave you a wrench this morning. Welcome. Kate, good to see you. Keep up the work of saving in the trees. It's so important. And Popeye, you're a music snob, aren't you? I see it. I see you out there. Kill Your E-Gray Gross. Good to see you. What's up on this Monday morning? Global, also hanging out in the chat. Who else is in here? Mastermind. Good to see you, Mastermind. How you doing? How's your podcast? I've been so tuned out. I didn't even turn my studio on for 3 weeks. So I dropped off the internet. You guys didn't see me. I got really, really sick after my last chemo treatment, and I kind of hit a wall. Chiron, good to see you. What's up this morning? Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be back on a Monday morning with you. Vic, there's Miss Vic. I see ya. What's up? And let's see. Let's go. Taco Kid from Alamo Town. Loving the tacos. I can't have carbs right now because I'm getting ready for a PET scan, but I want a taco. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. Everybody knows it. Cold Fusion Gaming. Who is that guy? And let's see, who was first in the chat? Jody was first in the chat. Good to see you, Jody. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. We got a huge show. No, I mean huge. There's 100 slides, and there's so much to talk about this morning. There's Jilly. What's up, Jilly? Hi, Shane. I see you guys. I see a bunch of people who are hanging out over on the Rumble. I don't know. It looked like it launched. Hopefully it launched. Let's check the Rockfin out. Willie V's hanging out over on the Rockfin. Good to see you too. It's so good to be home. It's always good to be home. Bella Lagusi coming in this morning. I think we should just get the show started, but I want to give you guys just a quick update, health-wise, what's going on with me. So as you know, I completed radiation and chemo on the 20th of December, so a few days before Christmas. I did really, really good, I think, up until that very last fourth round of chemo, and then it just kicked my ass. And then they called me in for more radiation. I thought it was done. They gave me a graduation thing, and then they were like, oh, guess what? You need some more. And so coming out of that, I'm so sick. I've been getting these hot flashes. They're not hot flashes. They're not even that. They're like burning to the ground infernos, and they come and go 100 times a day. They call them chemo sweats, I think is what I read, and I hope they go away. I'm doing everything I can. They say quit eating sugar, quit eating carbs. I have cut all of that out of my diet anyways, but they're terrible. So you'll see me burn to the ground 100 times during this show. I just grab a postcard and try to fan myself off. And but other than that, you know, the nausea, the not sleeping, the hair loss, I'm still losing my hair. It's starting to grow a little. I look like a Q-tip. I look like a blonde Q-tip. Oz says I look like Annie Lennox. Rumble launched fine. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Oz. Yeah, we had some issues, man. So I'm hanging in there. I get a PET scan tomorrow. I'm going for some lab work this afternoon, and hopefully we'll get an update. We'll see where I'm at. You don't really. You go into remission. That's the best you can hope for with small cell lung cancer. There is no curing it. So hopefully I am headed there, and we can get moving with this year because there's so much to do, and we have so many projects waiting in the wings. We're going to bring back the dive. I'm so excited to bring back the dive. Oh my gosh. Me, Amber, Oz, it was a dive bar. We hung out every Monday night. It was a freaking blast, and I really hope we get to do that. And then we have so many guests that want to stop by, people that we've supported over the years that we need to catch up with, and we've been invited onto a bunch of different shows too. So hopefully we'll get to do all that. Let's see, What's new on the deck? Let's see. And here we fucking go. I mean, good morning. Yeah, here we fucking go. 2025 has been an insane train wreck. There has been so much that we missed that we didn't get to talk about in the last 6 weeks. Let's see. We have the UFOs, the drones, the aliens, whatever the hell you want to call them, that the government completely ignored, right? Not a threat at all. They're global now. And a lot of people saying that we're going to get some disclosure as Trump gets into office. We shall see, right? And what else did we have? Oh, we had a couple of false flags that happened on New Year's. Those were kind of intense and crazy. But, you know, IDs never burn up, so that's a good thing. We always know who these people are. and of course, the wildfires. We are going to start out talking about the wildfires because there's so much to cover on it. But before we get there, fair use. I am merely commentating and giving you my opinion, my speculations, and my assumptions on issues. If you're interested in anything I talk about, please go do your own research. The truth is out there, and it will set you free. And don't be looking to mainstream media to form your opinion, because they're paid to form your opinion, and we know that. And if you want to help me out, all the donation links are in the description box below. You guys know that. You guys have been so amazing. Coming into December, I was scared. I didn't know how I was going to even cover my rent or do Christmas or get to any doctor's appointments. But you all carry me. I mean, It's incredible. It's like a miracle every day. If I need something, all of a sudden, there it is. You guys just provide for me, and I can't thank you guys enough. It brings me to tears every freaking day. Some days I feel like I don't deserve it, and I'm so thankful for the community that we have built, because I don't know how I would have ever survived through this in the trailer park by myself without you all. So thank you. And that's why I strive so hard to get back to you, because, hey, we got shit to talk about. And as long as I got air in my lungs or my lung, I'm going to come on here and tell you my opinion. So thank you guys so much. I just can't thank you guys enough. And to all of the Patreons who have stayed with Beauty and the Boomer all of these years, I mean, even when we're not adding content for weeks at a time, you guys stay with us, and I can't thank you guys enough for it. Thank you so much for being so loyal to us. I'm trying to get the scarf off because I'm too hot, but it's caught up. Come on. Okay, apparently I have to take both earbuds off. Okay. I should have known I couldn't wear a scarf because it would make me too hot. Okay. Here we go. I brought you guys I brought so much video. We have a ton of video to go over. So let's just get it started. Let's take a look at California and the Paradise Fire. The family is my therapy. Grapevine, I agree. I absolutely agree. You guys are my therapy. They keep telling me you need to join support groups and, you should do this, you should do that. No, I have the best support group in the world. That is you guys. I don't need to go, and it's depressing. I tried to join a couple of different support groups, and can I tell you, those guys depress me. They scare me. They make me think about my mortality constantly. Like, no, I want to live. I'm not giving cancer a capital C at all. This is my life, and I'm not letting it take over, so I'm staying away from those groups. I got you guys. Anyways, let's bring the big deck in here and get this show on the road. I got so many. Oh no, where'd my studio go? I have so many glitches in my studio. Oz and I had to work on it for a long time yesterday. And then this morning I lost my camera 3 different times. And I didn't launch the first time I launched. So fingers crossed we can pull this show off. It seems like it's going off without a hitch so far. Okay. Big one, there we go. Bring in little Chanda. Little Shanda's there. Okay, let's check it out. This is California. This is Paradise. Or I mean the Pacific Palisades fire, right? Wrong mouse. Here we go. Wow, that's insane. That is so scary. Look at those cars. But look, the trees are fine. Yet again, that is a phenomenon that's been happening over like the last 5 years, right? Metal burns to the ground. Trees, not so much. Plastic, not so much. Look at the metal just melting down the ground. It's melting and running. How devastating. Yeah, I know it's a YouTube video player. Go. And yeah, I understand these are rich people, but it's their lives, it's their livelihoods, you know. I'm not poo-pooing on them. The ones I poo-poo on are the ones like James Woods, who goes on TV and cries, and it's all for sympathy, and it's all full of bullshit. Those are the ones I poo-poo on. But everybody else, my heart breaks for them. You've lost everything. I can't imagine. Let's see. This one cracked me up. This guy's reaction was pretty funny. Those, those big, what do they call them? They call them something. Big ass airplanes or something. The fire department has a pretty funny abbreviation for them, but check this out. This guy's kind of loud if I remember right. Let me turn it down. I'm going to turn it down before I start it because he's all wound up.
Look at this American badass right here, son. That is an American badass. Look at the Pacific, how rough it is. He don't give a shit, son. He's like coming down in there. I got it, Captain. Watch, he's gonna skim it right across the Pacific, son, and load that belly full of water. That right there is an American badass, son.
It is pretty badass.
Baby. Look at the concentration. Look at the focus, son. He's got a belly full, Captain, and he's fixing to lift her back up, baby. Holy smoke, son. That is an American badass. And here comes another one. Balls of steel, son. Balls of steel.
Maybe it's Alex Jones's cousin.
Like, I don't give a shit. We got a fire to put out. Whoa, son.
I love this guy's enthusiasm.
It flies off into the damn sunset. And here comes another one. Holy shit, baby. Look at him, son. That is some badasses, baby.
They are pretty badass. I mean, come on. They are their belly dumpers. Yeah, they are the ones that are actually putting the kibosh on a huge amount of the fire, right? I mean, we've seen them come in, and I saw a helicopter drop a bunch of dirt on a whole bunch of people, like a whole bunch of firefighters. Oops. But for the most part, they're doing a good job of getting out there and getting, dropping them where they're supposed to be. This video here is a very heartwarming video of a guy getting his dog back. I mean, so many pets have been lost in this fire. When you're fleeing for your life and you can't find your pet, or the police won't let you back into your area to retrieve your pet, you're just wishing and praying for the best, right? So this guy got a pleasant surprise 5 days later.
It's Tika Tika! It's Tika Tika! Hi, Boo-Boo! How's the fire? Oh, honey! Oh, honey! Oh, my God, you're alive! You're alive! Oh, honey! Oh, wow!
You can take them back.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, God. NBC, where's NBC? Where are you, Liz? Thank you. Oh, honey, thank you. Oh, God almighty. Oh, Jane. Oh,
Aw, that was sweet. Can you imagine? A lot of you guys would act that way too if you got your pet back. I would. I mean, I don't know if I'd be looking for NBC, but I would be. Let's check out this video. Not sure what this one is, but we'll play it. Hi, David Crow. What's up? Good to see you too. Come on, play.
The house was built by my mother and father in 1960, and I lived here my whole life, so there's a lot of memories here, and I think I owed it to them as well to try my best to save it. But some things in life are worth fighting for. I mean, if I were to lose this house, it would be very difficult to afford to be able to build a new house, to pay the enormous property taxes they have here. What would I do? When I was out here hosing the house down and getting ready, and when the houses started to burn, I didn't see one single fire truck out here at all. Zero. Wow. If they had some fire trucks and just put a squirt here, a squirt there, and kept an eye on things, all these houses would be here now. I'm telling you right now, I saw it with my own eyeballs. All these houses. The houses behind me, they're all gone. They started with one little spark, one little small fire. They just squirted those out, had a few people out there. They'd all be here now. I did what I needed to do. I did what I wanted to do. I did what I thought I could do, and that's what I did.
Lot of stories of people who actually stayed and saved their houses by putting sprinklers on the roofs, by just, fighting as long as they can to keep everything wet and down as long as they had water, because a lot of places didn't have water. And yeah, he's absolutely right. There we saw where the firefighters were just like, yeah, it's too much. We can't even do anything. We're not even going to try to do anything. And, we can talk about how these fires started all day long, whether it be conspiracies or arson or whatnot. The fact of the matter is the Santa Ana winds have been blowing through there for as long as California has fucking been there, and they should have been prepared for this. So can't unsee this now. No, we cannot unsee that. Beavis and Butthead, of course. Let's check out this video. This one's pretty scary.
Hey babe, I need you to come out here right now. We have a very big problem.
What? Holy shit! Oh no!
Babe, we gotta go.
Oh my god. No! No! No!
Look how fast. Look at those winds.
I'm gonna spray the roof.
God.
Please God, save us, save our house, please. Bye. Oh no. No.
So what was that? Less than an hour from the time that they saw it down the road till they were having to run for their lives. It makes you think of how quick could you get out of your house and gather up your life, everything that you wanted to save, right? Oz and I were talking about this yesterday. Like, I've been mentally going through my head room by room, like, okay, I would grab this out of the kitchen. I would grab this out of the living room. I'd have to get all of the papers out of the file cabinet that are important, titles and birth certificates and shit like that. And then you start thinking about the things you want to save, like my grandma's brooch that has been in the family since the 1811, you know, and then you think you got everything mentally in your head. Then you're like, oh yeah, but what about this? Oh, what about this? Right? The things that are irreplaceable, you start thinking about. And that's something that all of us should be thinking about as Americans, because Agenda 2030 is coming for all of us. They want to push us into the big cities and make them smart cities. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But what are the things that are important to you, and how quickly can you grab them? Depending on where you live, we all face different challenges. Now, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. We're obviously going to have to deal with we got 4 elements, right? Earth, wind, water, and fire. And here it's going to be earthquakes and it's going to be tsunamis. So we have to deal with, you know, we got about 15 minutes notice from the time that the ground starts shaking till a massive wall of water, which is only about 1.5 miles away from me, is heading my way. So I got about 15 minutes to grab and run up the hill for my life, and hopefully I will make it, right? But it's something all of us need to be thinking about. So let's see, this woman here, she says we need to stop saying this is unprecedented, because it's not unprecedented, right? And it kind of lets them off the hook when we say that, when they say that, like the Karen Basses and the Gavin Newsom and you know, the people in California. This isn't unprecedented, and I'm going to bring you the proof in the next slide, but let's hear what she has to say.
Stop calling the fires in California unprecedented. What happened in Maui? That was unprecedented. What happened in North Carolina? That was unprecedented. What's happened in California was predicted. And in fact, Newsom ran his campaign in 2017 off the backs of the Tubbs fire, which at the time was the most destructive fire in California, where fire hydrants also didn't work. And my friends in those neighborhoods were utilizing the waters from their pools in order to exterminate flames. Fire hydrants not working, nothing new. Wildfires in California, nothing new. I was evacuated from my first wildfire 30 years ago when I was 10. I decided to leave California because I could not stand the policies and the red tape that they had, and I decided to trade hurricanes, which I get ample notice, versus wildfires, which I get no notice. And watching the writing on the wall over the years, I could see that nothing was changing, and it was only a matter of time before that state became a goddamn inferno. My dad was a heavy equipment operator in charge of maintaining the roads in my town. And 30 years ago, he was facing issues for mowing the roads during high fire season because of frog habitats that didn't even end up existing there.
They didn't even exist.
What is happening in California has been happening for years. And by utilizing the term unprecedented takes away the accountability from the people who have put the state where it's at.
It's true.
Stop using that term. Call it what it is. Call out the leaders. Because there are thousands of Californians who do not deserve to be now homeless because of the fact that their leadership, elected whether they chose to or not, failed them. And as a Californian, you have a right to be pissed at Newsom if you voted for him because he lied to you.
He always lies.
And as anybody else who didn't vote for Gavin Newsom, you have a right to be pissed because he is costing us now tax dollars. And for a state that talks about equity and giving everybody a level playing field, California has far more resources available to them than North Carolina does.
Oh, yeah.
Yet the Biden administration stepped up immediately to use all of our tax dollars to bail their asses out.
100% for 6
Stop
months.
calling it unprecedented. It was predicted and it happened because of poor planning and there's no other way about it. And for the assholes on community notes, this is opinion, my lived experience, and you can go fuck yourself.
I'm going to start saying that on community notes. I love it. You can go F yourself. So we keep hearing these stories that are getting community noted over on X about mass fire companies coming in, heading in from Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Canada, Mexico. But they're having to go through emissions before they can get out there and actually fight the fires. You know, we don't have emissions in Washington State. Thank God. Thank God. We did when I lived in Louisiana, and it was a pain in the ass. You had to go through an inspection every year if you had a crack in your windshield or if your exhaust was messed up, your catalytic converter was plugged. You basically had to get a new car. Fight that shit, man. That is crazy, and I'm so glad we don't have that. So let's hear about that.
So California called for help. They said to some of their neighboring states like Nevada and Idaho and Oregon and Washington, send us some fire rigs, send us some firefighters. We've got to get these fires out. Guess what happened? Did all those fire rigs and personnel go straight to the fire lines? No, they did not. They went to Sacramento. And why? Because California says if you send us your fire rig, it must first go to Sacramento for an inspection by Cal Fire. And only if it passes the inspection, and apparently it's taking some time, some of the crews have been held up, only then does it go to Pacific Palisades and start fighting those fires in Los Angeles. That's how crazy it is. And to make it even worse, on the way out of the state, after all those fire crews and rigs are done, they have to stop in Sacramento for a second inspection on their way out of state.
Why? Why on their way out of state? Are they taking any fruit flies with them or anything like that? Well, that's crazy to me that they got to stop on their way out. Like, ugh. California and its red tape. Okay, so I came across this. I don't know why it ended up in my suggested feed the other day. Now, this is 1961. This is actually was posted by LA Fire Department. You can go to LAPD or LAFD, and this is on their website. Check this out. So this isn't unprecedented. Anybody who's lived in California any amount of time knows that this happens. Regardless of how the spark starts, these Santa Ana winds are going to take that spark and it's going to burn everything to the sea, which is kind of crazy because the Pacific Palisades fire is now burning backwards. Did you guys see that? It burned all the way to the sea. It hit Malibu. It burned all the beach houses, and now it's burning back up over the canyons and in the opposite direction. Check this out. This is like 4 minutes long, and I brought you, this is like a 25-minute thing, but it's kind of comical to watch the old vehicles and the old phones inside the fire chief's car. Like, check this out. It's very nostalgic to me. Play.
Design for disaster. The story of the Bel Air conflagration. Santa Ana. Indians named it Santana, the devil wind.
The devil
When
wind.
it blows, plants wither, trees and brush become crackling dry, atmosphere grows tense, oppressive. People tire easily, argue more. Even the suicide rate rises during the months of the Santa Ana.
That's crazy.
Warm, dry. This climate plays an important part in attracting over 3,000 people a month to the city of Los Angeles to become permanent residents. To settle into hotels, apartments, homes along the coast, inland throughout the central residential sections to the far reaches of the valley areas. And some move up to the scenic, secluded hill areas, where lush California vegetation softens the ridges and valleys for miles in every direction, and breezes blow clean through native growth. And increasingly strong during the late fall months of the Santa Ana, and dangerously dry when there has been no rain. It is during this unstable period that firemen most fear the potential. The potential of 134 square miles of thick, dry chaparral and oak, all within the city boundaries of Los Angeles, classed by experts as the fastest burning ground cover in the Western Hemisphere. And nestled in that cover, one of the greatest concentrations of high-value homes in America, a serious problem in fire protection under even the best of conditions. On the morning of November 6, 1961, fire department dispatchers find conditions far from the best. Santa Ana winds are strong, gusty. Humidity and moisture content of the brush rock bottom. Fire danger extreme. At 8:03 a.m., a condition of high hazard is declared throughout the department. Standby companies are moved up to stations near brush areas to strengthen the circle of protection. But even as they move, trouble strikes. At 8:15, an alert of fire is relayed to the officer in command of mountain firefighting units.
Mountain Patrol and all units concerned.
Oh, Motorola. Yeah, they've been around forever.
Area, 3600 block, Stone Canyon.
The division chief responds immediately. Clouds of brush smoke are already visible on the ridge. The chief calls for additional company. The fire, starting from its point of origin north of Mulholland on Stone Canyon.
Yeah, high-value homes.
Spreads out along canyon walls in 3 directions.
Every home's worth $1 million.
First arriving units succeed in stopping it on the north, east, and west flanks before it reaches threatened homes. But there is no stopping it on the south. Winds are driving the flames fast and hard toward Mulholland. The chief declares a condition of major emergency. The master plan of defense against a serious brush fire begins. Support from air tankers is requested.
It's like Car 54.
Engine companies roll out. All key personnel are alerted and special mountain firefighting equipment dispatched. Deputy and division chiefs move up to take command of field units.
Is that pink?
As radio messages crackle in.
The fire is over the top. It's heading straight down Stone Canyon.
Engine 31, 45, 46, and 67 move directly into the fire.
Fire has jumped Mulholland at the crest of the Santa Monicas, headed toward Bel Air.
Oh, God, no, not Bel Air.
To these men, brush fires are routine, but this one is pushing them hard.
Oh, my gosh. Isn't that nostalgic? Wow. So, yeah, don't tell me these are unprecedented. This was 1962. I brought you one more little clip from that. That was like a half hour. You go check it out if you're into that kind of thing. I just thought it was interesting.
Fire again and again. Nevertheless, the firemen try. Air tankers come in low and often, despite collision hazard and the smoke. Only a limited number may operate. Even their biggest loads will not affect the huge central fires.
At least they don't have drones to run into them.
They do their best work in conjunction with ground crews on the flanks to prevent fire spread.
Look at that bulldozer.
More equipment is moved in as fire sweeps south on a solid front at incredible speed. Every burning thing that can be torn loose by the wind is hurled ahead in this horizontal, leapfrogging, wind-driven advance. Burning brands rain down in clouds as fire leaps from wood roof to wood roof. Spot fires appear everywhere.
They don't have wood roofs now. They have blue roofs.
Fused together to feed the parent blaze. A blaze which is no longer just a major brush fire, just a group of burning buildings. It is now a full-scale conflagration. On the move. Headed for the thickly populated areas of every residential section north and south of Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, not Sunset. So there you are, the concentration. Let's see, Design for Disaster is what that was called. Yeah, I love the Bonanza music, right? It was very nostalgic of Bonanza. And yeah, I totally recognize that narrator. It seems like he did every one of our school. Remember the reel-to-reels we used to have to watch, the PSAs they would make us watch back in the 70s and 80s that were from the 60s. Yeah, it seemed like he was the narrator for all of those. I just found that interesting. So don't tell me that this is unprecedented. Bullshit. That this has been happening for as long as people have lived in California. Let's check out this video. Not sure what it is. Like I said, I brought you guys a ton of video.
Many people attribute the survival of a single house in an area otherwise decimated by these fires to luck or good fortune. But this woman made a video, and it makes me wonder if there's something else that could be at play. But probably not.
So I talked to the owner of this house right here in Pasadena. I talked to the owner. The owner does not have a smart meter on this house. On
a smart meter.
There's no smart meter. No smart meter. So the house did not burn. The back house is the part of the house that had the smart meter. And everything in the back of his house is burnt.
So let's start investigating. If you're in California, go to a surviving house and ask the owner some questions and get back to me, and we'll make a whole series about it.
Here's the list of questions. Do you have a smart meter? Do you have a blue roof? Like, those are the questions you should be asking. Guess what? I have been fighting smart meters since 2016 when our local county proposed bringing them in. We absolutely balked. We knew we had doctors that came, and we literally took over our local power PUD, public utility district. We got a commissioner elected, and subsequently he passed, not I want to say a year or two ago, on us, leaving this spot vacant, but he helped us push these guys back. Now, they had an opt-out, right, only after we threw a fit, but the opt-out was going to cost you like $50 frickin', and then you got charged every month for the opt-out. Well, guess what happened to me this week? Just on Thursday, we had a bunch of tree removal people in the park cutting down some of the bigger trees, which is good because they were threatening my house. And we get a knock on the door, and I figure it's the tree removal people. And I hear the PUD saying, we need to shut your power off for a second because we're switching out your meter. So apparently I have a smart meter now, and it'll cost me like $30 to opt out of it. And I don't know if that's a month or a year, but we know that your power bill instantly goes up as soon as you get a smart meter, and there is EMF exposure that comes from these. I know people that have like Faraday boxed their whole entire smart meter. So I don't know. That's kind of crazy, right? Natural gas leaking everywhere in these burned out homes, and just everyday people are out there shutting it off. Did you see this? Play.
What we're doing today.
Actively shutting off the gas to these homes.
Listen,
you can hear it.
Oh my God, that stinks. Watch
yourself. Electrical wires everywhere and shit.
Watch yourself. Come off. There you go. Nice. Nicely done.
Dozens of these gas.
Look at this.
Leaks have shut off today.
Well, yeah, I bet. Wow. So we've been hearing a lot of booms coming from downtown LA. Have you guys seen the videos? I didn't bring you any because honestly, I can't bring you the whole internet, but I'm probably thinking it's gas lines exploding would be my guess. But what's crazy is there's booms literally happening all over the country. I've seen video out of Utah. I've seen video out of Pennsylvania. What is causing these booms? And the police department does not want to talk about them, and they have been told to defer and just pretend like it's not happening. So what the hell is causing these huge ass booms around the country? I don't know. Maybe it's the aliens, right? Let's hear what President Joe Biden has to say. And Kamala Harris has to come in and kind of swing him back away from conspiracy land because, hey, he can't be telling us the truth.
It looked to me as I traveled when I was out with you in California, what it reminded me of more of a war scene where you had certain targets that were bombarded.
Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't mean to jump. Let's play it again. Play it again, Sam. Here we go.
It looked to me as I traveled when I was out with you in California, what it reminded me of more of a war scene where you had certain targets that were bombarded, where artillery was just blew them up.
Player? No, it's a YouTube player.
No, with no rhyme or reason. In other words, you'd have this fire going crazy and burning everything down, and 3 houses being fine. Nothing's happening. Or neighborhoods that were still green. They're still green. And next to a place that, for example, you know, we're just looking at a Secret Service house that was out there. You know, all
not a Secret Service house.
No.
What the fuck? A
Still
Secret Service house.
Shrubbery,
Not a human, an actual person's house.
Is fine. There's only, I think, 4 or 5 houses in that 200. You know, it's in the Pasadena area. But the generic point is, it's almost like it's a battle scene.
But you know, Mr. President, we saw that in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida with hurricanes.
No, we did not see that with hurricanes, you dumb beaver.
This changing climate, these extreme...
Oh my God, she brings it back to climate. Okay, so Harris had to get in there and redirect him because, God dang it, he was actually telling some truths by saying it looks like a war zone and all the trees are still there, but the cars have melted. And she goes, oh, but we saw that in North Carolina. How the hell did we see that in North Carolina? There wasn't cars melting in North Carolina. There wasn't cars melting in Tennessee or Florida. Oh, thank God she did not get elected. I mean, yeah, we can deal with 4 more years of buffoon Trump and the Democrats and their TDS for the next 4 fucking years, but it would have been so much more worse under Harris. Come on, we all know it. David Spade is going to save us all from the arsonist. So, yeah, he's a midnight toker. Yeah, he's more like a midnight joker. Anyways, let's hear what David Spade's offering you if you lock up your neighbors and the homeless people down the road.
There's guys lighting fires out there. Make this shit worse. They just caught somebody, we're pretty sure was lighting fires, walking with a blowtorch. They let him go. So if you can find someone lighting a fire and you catch somebody and you can get the cops to bust him and throw him in jail, I'll give you $5,000.
I'll give you $5,000.
So keep your eyes peeled and do what you can out there.
Joke.
Don't fake it though. No
Don't
staging.
fake it.
Let me know.
Let me know. What a D-bag. Whatever. He's going to save everybody. I have seen a lot of video. Have you guys seen the video? I didn't bring it because, hey, innocent until proven guilty. We've seen a lot of video of supposed arsonists going around lighting fires, which, you know, I see a lot of conspiracies coming from the right that there is, you know, illegals that are coming into the country and that are up in the canyons lighting these fires too for, you know, terroristic reasons. I don't know. And I'm not going to come out here and tell you that's what's happening. I don't know, right? You don't know. We know that one person got picked up and the cops let him go. The one with the blowtorch that the whole community jumped on and zip tied him. Like, so I don't know. I'm not going to bring you guys. That to me is misinformation. So until, you know, the cops are like, we caught this guy, here's video, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be telling you guys that's what's going on. But David Spade, he is. And so is Pat Boone. Did you guys see Pat Boone's video? I didn't bring it. It's terrible. Anyways, so what's sad is for the people whose homes have survived, who have not burned down, the National Guard, 1,600 National Guard have been unleashed, and a curfew has been imposed on these communities. They're not allowed back at their houses. Even if their house is still standing there with all their stuff in it, sorry, you might be a looter. You can't go home. This would piss me off too. And here's somebody being, I Not very happy about it. But we know the police are not there and the National Guard to protect people. They're there to protect property of the elite. We've said it all along, and that's what's going on.
That makes no fucking sense to me. You guys are dropping the fucking ball.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Now we're getting these fake fucking long alerts.
Yeah, I get it. I would be fucking pissed if I couldn't go home to my house and my things after finding out that my house was still there. That's terrible. Well, these people are forced to live in hotels, in shelters. I have seen a lot of great videos of mutual aid, of everyday people getting out there and helping one another with water, with food, with clothes, and household everyday necessities, personal hygiene necessities. We have mass caravans that are leaving from Washington State that are taking stuff down. Now, I saw one of my friends, my Facebook friends, somebody I actually know in real life, an activist that I've worked with over the years, bitching and complaining about people donating stuff instead of donating money. And I didn't say anything. I didn't have time to go fight with them, but I was just like, well, that's shitty. Not all of us can afford to go buy gift cards to send down there. We would love to. I would love to. But you know what I can send? The brand new coffee pot that's sitting under my cabinet that I don't use. The brand new pair of boots that somebody gave me that are half a size too big. Like things that people need. Everyday household stuff that needs to be replaced that they need. And so I don't care what you're donating, whether it be money or whether it be stuff. At least we're giving, and mutual aid is all we have, and one another is all we have, and we say it all the time here. So let's hear from the governor, Mr. Gavin Newsom.
Governor Newsom, any comment on the fires?
Well, obviously it's a very, very serious situation, and we're doing everything we can do to tackle this challenge head on. But, the rhetoric of President Trump has contributed to it immensely.
Wait, what do you mean?
I would say caused this. And, he's solely responsible because this rhetoric has been obviously fired up for years.
You're saying the fires were caused by Trump's rhetoric?
Well, he said himself, when he was president, let's not forget, fire and fury, he used those words. And he's been using inflammatory rhetoric, which has contributed greatly to what we're seeing.
What about the decades of forest mismanagement in California?
Well, is it the millions of jobs that we've created? If it's our economy that's been booming, it's all the different factors that have made California an incredible state, still the envy of the country, highest GDP per capita in most of the civilized world. And,
there's no water in the hydrants.
The rhetoric from President Trump has just made things very difficult, at least right now, for the residents here.
You don't think it's the shutting down of reservoirs and not properly managing water supply?
That's right-wing white supremacist propaganda, and you can believe that if you want to believe the narratives of the far right. You can regurgitate those kind of words, but that's not helpful. That's only harmful. That's doing the former president and soon-to-be president's bidding, if you ask me.
How are you not accountable, sir?
We have work to do, and I'm going to get to work, to continue to save the salmon.
Exactly. This is environmentalist virtue signaling at the expense of human beings.
People are hurting.
This guy nails it.
I'm going to do what I came here to do as governor, and I'm going to get back to work to help the people of California. But more importantly, help the fish.
Oh my God, that guy totally nailed Newsom, and I brought you an example. You guys tell me, was he pretty accurate? I think he was.
I called for him to come out, take a look for himself. We want to do it in the spirit of an open hand, not a closed fist.
Why is he even talking about fucking Trump?
I respect the office. We have a president of the United States that within 36 hours provided a major disaster declaration over a text.
Only for California.
We had support from the president of the United States, Joe Biden, with 100% reimbursement, all the resources you could hope for or imagine, constant communication. I'd like to extend that to the president-elect. I don't know what he's referring to when he talks about the Delta smelt in reservoirs. The reservoirs are completely full. The state reservoirs here in Southern California. That mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us. Responding to Donald Trump's insults, we would spend another month. I'm very familiar with them. Every elected official that he disagrees with, very familiar with them.
We do know, though, from reporting here locally that that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
And that's exactly what triggered my desire to get the investigation, to understand what was happening with that local reservoir. That was not a state system reservoir, which the president-elect was referring to as it relates to the Delta and somehow connecting the Delta smelt to this fire, which is
political.
Inexcusable because it's inaccurate, also incomprehensible to anyone that understands water policy in the state.
Yeah, I think this guy pretty much nailed it. I mean, why we're even talking about these presidents other than Biden stepping up and giving 100% reimbursement to California for the next 6 months when he's done fucking nothing for Tennessee, for North Carolina, for Florida. Here's your loan, and we're going to talk about that. I brought you guys some clips from down there too, but let's finish up with this. You guys better not be talking about weather warfare in smart cities. Oh, no, don't be talking about that. Here's another Newsom. Let's see what he says this time.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
So he's trying to pretend that he talked to Josh Green, who we all know Josh Green has been disastrous for Hawaii and for the smart cities that they want to bring into Maui, and letting asshats like Oprah and all of her rich friends come in and buy up all the land. Well, Josh Green told him to be careful that speculators might be coming in and scooping up the land. I'm not buying it. I mean, and what was he smiles. I talked to Josh Green. And then he does this little freaking shuffle dance. What the hell was that? I don't know. It was crazy. We all know that's what's going to happen, right? So Gavin Newsom and Elizabeth Warren busted for claiming 100% of donations will go to fire victims when they really go to the Democrats' Act Blue Pact. Oh, God, Act Blue strikes again. Yeah, do not give to any of these places that the Democrats suggest to you to donate to, because ultimately it will get siphoned back into the Democratic Party, and that's what they live for. That's their job. Yeah, she's such a snake. It did not go well. Yeah, it did not. Careful. Anything that comes out of Elizabeth Warren's mouth, we do not trust. Let's cover some TDS, because boy, this has brought some TDS out in a lot of people. And this woman, I'm just gonna play it. I don't. Somebody needs to collect their granny. She needs to go back to the home. This is crazy.
So what has that classless piece of shit who's about to take office on the 20th done with respect to the tragic and overwhelming fires that have been suffered by California and the people there who have lost everything? Has he extended himself to the current administration? No. The only thing he's done is call Governor Newsom Newscum. Like I said, a classless piece of shit. What can we expect during the next 4 years?
Does she have a septum piercing?
More
oh my God, she does.
The same. Good luck.
Oh God, we have 4 fucking years of this shit to look forward to. Lucky us. Yay. Why did she look like she had a piece of corn stuck in her dentures and still working on getting it out of there? I don't know. But here's another one for your enjoyment. Enjoy the TDS, because we got a long haul of it.
So we should have seen this coming. Instead of reaching out with compassion to the people in my city, Los Angeles, for losing everything in the fires, miserable Trump and his cronies are politicizing it, of course, for their own advantage. They're blaming Gavin Newsom, they're blaming the Democrats. Funny, he doesn't blame the red states for hurricanes and tornadoes and floods. No, He's a miserable man out for his own good. And by the way, he doesn't believe in climate change. It's a hoax. So you know what? We are in big trouble.
We are in big trouble because we're going to have to listen to this crap for 4 more years. And the sad thing is it doesn't matter what side you fall on politically. The everyday people are screwed. We're going to be, and let's not play games. They're on the same damn side that is making money for the elites, the oligarchs, their buddies, and screw the rest of us. Who cares if our property is taken from us, if we have nowhere to live? I mean, look at California's homeless fucking crisis and the billions of dollars that have been dumped into it that nobody can account for. You know, I've told you a lot of times that I have formed a committee. We went in 10 years ago to find out where the millions that had been given to my community to help with homelessness went. And, up and behold, nobody could tell us where it went. And some of the shelter people resigned and fucking ran. So, we're in so much trouble. And I'm just, left, right, it's a paradigm, it's a joke. Let's quit playing these games and call them out for who they really are. Nothing's going to get better by either side. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is the 100% coverage for California. And fuck Maui, North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida. Yeah, we don't give a shit about them. They mention nothing. FEMA mentions nothing about the people that are literally freezing to death in their fucking tents, and the FEMA vouchers that have been denied and pulled this last week, kicking people out into a fucking winter storm. Disgusting.
President Biden committed to 180 days of 100% match on recovery funds. Just technically, how is he able to commit to 6 months when he's only going to be in office for 10 more days? Is that locked in, or could that change if the next administration has a different idea?
You know, this is a practice that many administrations have utilized to help support the immediate needs in the response to one of these major catastrophic disasters. And what we want to be able to do is recognize the catastrophic impact of that. And the president has the authority through the statute, through law, to be able to commit this amount of funding to support the recovery efforts. I would hope that we look at this, as I think Corrine said earlier, that these are communities that have had a catastrophic impact, and that we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can as a federal family to support them on this recovery journey.
Wow, that is not what we heard for North Carolina. That is not what we heard for Tennessee, for Florida, or for fucking Maui at all, right? I got called a conspiracy theorist when I said the $750 that you were applying for and getting in North Carolina was a loan. It was a loan. It has been proven it was a loan, but I was a crazy conspiracy theorist by the left. The left's always the one that attacks me. It's funny. The right never attacks me. It's always the left that attacks me. And supposedly I'm a leftist, right? I don't know. Am I a leftist anymore? I'm not at anything anymore. I'm awake. I know what the hell is going on. Okay, so let's get some updates from North Carolina and Tennessee.
Today is January 10th, 2025. I'm going to start this video out by saying that we're praying for California. We've had several people make the trip across coast to come volunteer here with us with Valley Strong Disaster Relief. I'll be the very first to admit that before September 27th, I would see a natural disaster and I would think, oh, that sucks. Then I would go on about my life. That's because I'd never been affected by it. My mindset has completely changed since Hurricane Helene, and I'll spend the rest of my life being involved in some sort of storm relief and trying to pay back the hearts of the volunteers and to help the victims. This morning I saw a post made by the leader of the free world. He said that he was announcing that the federal government would cover 100% of the cost of measures to protect the lives and property in Southern California for the next 6 months. He told the governor and officials to spare no expense and do whatever they need to contain the fires and protect families. I hope that happens. I wouldn't wish what happened here on anybody, not even my worst enemy. What about Appalachia? We are 105 days in since one of the most devastating storms known to mankind. We are still supplying our own campers and shelters while paying mortgages on piles of rubble. We are still running our own supply hubs with phase 1 items to many people that lost everything, including their homes and their jobs. We still have bridges out. Only 4% of the debris has been picked up. You heard that right, 4%. Many businesses are bankrupt with insurance denying their claim. We have a polar vortex slamming western North Carolina while people are going through 10 gallons of propane a night, wondering where they're going to get their next tank. Every single thing that we the people have done for relief efforts so far has been nothing but a mere band-aid to stabilize our communities until proper help arrives. So with all that being said, I hope LA does get fixed. In the meantime, we'll be right here fighting for each other. But when you're done there, don't forget about the backbone of America.
Ew.
Don't forget about Appalachia. Our taxes are paid too.
I hope that was an animal. I have seen lots of video of where they've taken cadaver dogs out and they've hit on places up and down the river, and they just literally tie a tag, and there's hundreds of tags all over up and down the river of where there potentially could be a decomposing body that nobody's bothered to look for, dig up, lay to rest. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Appalachia, and it's very sad, especially in light of what we're seeing. Here's one more. Let's check this one out.
All right, so please fucking tell me how this is all right. Please fucking tell me that we didn't have enough money for the fucking hurricane victims at all. It's like, oh, we could give a $750 loan. We just don't have the money. Sorry, Maui. Sorry, hurricane victims. We don't got the money. We're broke. But California, with their own negligence, causes fucking fire to burn down the entire fucking Democrat fucking blue cities. And then you're gonna fucking sit here.
Those
and
are
then
their
you're gonna
donors,
fucking
of
throw in our
course.
fucking face that not only you're giving more money to Ukraine, but you're fucking giving 100% of the damage costs for the next 80 days, he said? That means Trump's gonna be in office. How many trillions in damage do you think the Democrats caused to their own fucking state? How many you think it is? I know it's not at 50 or 100 or 200 billion. I know it's not 500 billion because the entire Pacific Palisades, all those mansions burned.
Yeah, okay, we get it. I'm not going to do 5 minutes of this, but, I did bring to you guys a whistleblower report of a FEMA worker who said they were denying people in Appalachia who were flying Trump propaganda or Trump campaign, signs, rhetoric, whatever. If they thought you were a Trump supporter, you got denied. So come on, you can't tell me this isn't political. The whole reason that California is getting everything it needs is because California is the 4th largest economy in the world, and it supplies the Democrat Party with a shit ton of money, including the Resnicks money, which we're going to talk about the Resnicks. Let's see, what do we got next? Let's see, essential. Oh, let's talk about this first. Who's actually out here fighting these fires? You know who's fighting these fires? Yet again, it is the slave prison labor that California gets for free. They pay these guys $1 an hour. That is no joke. They make a cap of 10 something a day. What is 1027 a day? Essentially nearly 800 incarcerated firefighters deployed as LA battles wildfires. Now, this is because of the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. They abolished slavery, but they said, well, if you're being punished for a crime, well, then we can make you a slave. And that's exactly what they did. And the saddest part of this is these guys are going out there and they're risking their lives on the front lines of these fires every day to save people and property. And then when they are released, now most of these guys are good timers. They're on work release programs, those type of things. They're on their way out. They should have a path to fucking unemployment if they're trained as firefighters But nay, no, they are not allowed to because they have a criminal history. They can only fight if they are fighting for the state. So let's hear what these are actual incarcerated firefighters that are out there, and this is what they have to say.
Fire, there's really none. So that's like the thing.
California State doesn't have any sort of like reintegration program. California has MCRP program, and thank God for Scott Button, he's trying to integrate his ARC program. So MCRP is the reintegration program from being incarcerated to being on the outside. It's limited, but it's offering you a way to try to deinstitutionalize, but in a sense, it's kind of just keeping you on a leash. Sadly to say, but that's what it is. They do offer some programs, but they're very limited because you're usually private-owned companies.
And they most likely have you do it yourself. Like when you finish parole, they have you do your own parole.
It feels like out of 10, only 3 go.
I feel
what
like,
about the rest?
I feel like if you had a job coming out, if you had something lined up, kind of like this program, if it was CAL FIRE or if it's anything else, you're not gonna fuck around. You're not gonna want to lose that job. You're not gonna want to fuck over. You're not gonna fuck around with your parole.
You have something to lose. It's a tie down.
Yeah, that's what is so frustrating about stuff like this. That I mean, it's just so dispensable, like expendable. They just discard you. They're like, all right, fuck off. You know, all right, you did your time. Fuck off.
It's another number. Yeah.
And it's very frustrating.
So you said you kind of do political infiltration. Since you've been kind of shining the light on some of those spaces, have you seen any like progress being made or any like development within that field?
I mean, yes and no. I feel like people are very resistant. They're very resilient. They don't want to see the humanity of other people.
That's very sad. You know, we put them out there. We give them $10 a fucking day. They risk their lives, and then we won't even let them get an actual job when they do get out of incarceration. But that's the American way, right? And yet we bitch at China about their slave labor and prison camps. But hey, we do it too. But we're just quiet about it. What is this? Let's see. How cool how the tech oligarchs operate like the Cold War era CIA and have a network of podcast influencers to rehab their images and launder their agenda. Yeah, Joe Rogan's been licking the boot of the elite for a long time now, and that's exactly what he is. I actually saw a AI generated picture of Rogan making out with Zuckerberg. Oh, it was so gross, so gross. But that's exactly what he's done. Joey B. Tunes dropped a new 30-minute breakdown. Always a great job. Always makes me laugh out loud. You guys know I'm all about comedy. I love to laugh out loud, and Joey makes me laugh. Let's hear what Joey had to say about the Zuckerberg-Rogan podcast.
Have you guys seen this yet? The Zuckerberg talking about how he's going to bring free speech to his platform. Can you believe it?
You've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
Yeah, remember when it was a conspiracy theory to suggest that these platforms were suppressing our speech?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same guy that's behind a platform that actually is now in an active campaign to stop the suppression of free speech.
First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes.
Community notes is so fucking great.
Starting in the U.S.
So this is an admission of guilt then, correct? All the times people were labeled conspiracy theorists, dangerous to society for their posts.
Right.
Is he going to call everybody and apologize or just...
I'm waiting.
So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system.
You know what's even more concerning? I don't even think this is him. I think they replaced Mark Zuckerberg with a human.
Oh, no. No.
I mean, he almost looks and talks like a human being here.
Is it a
I
clone?
got to believe this is a replacement of some sort, unless it got an upgrade or something. You know, now that I think about it, there was a video of him last July of him on a surfboard in the water. I wonder if he got wet or something and, you know, shorted his circuit boards out or something. They probably had to replace him. I mean, you've seen what they're doing with these robots, right? They're starting to move around more naturally now. This has to be the latest version.
Maybe he's the X version.
This more.
Joey B. Tunes. Go watch his 30-minute drop that he dropped the other day. Freaking hilarious. Covers a lot of stuff. This is not a hero or a patriot. This is a traitor that got caught. Absolutely. He's trying to rehabilitate his name and trying to do it in the same style as X is just gross. You guys know I've been a community noter. I don't even know what that means. They gave me like a community note status a couple of years ago when community notes came out. So I get to see them before anybody else does, and I get to rate them, right? And I used to have a 12 ranking, and now, which I haven't even rated a community note in forever. And normally when I do, it's because it pisses me off and it's misinformation, and I go in there and tell it's misinformation. I've been dropped down to an 8. So community notes not working very well, but hey, that's what they think. The 600 series had rubber skin. We spotted them easy, but they are new. They look human. They sweat, bad breath, everything. Very hard to spot. Yes, they are very hard to spot. And Zuck, hey there, fellow freedom lovers. Can you believe that the Biden administration did this to us? Yeah, right. Crying that the Biden administration, they called us up and yelled at us, so we had to censor you. We'll see if it gets any better over on Facebook land. I gave up on Facebook a long time ago just because it sucked. Okay, let's talk about the young global leaders. Tulsi Gabbard walking back her Section 702 support. Oh, it's okay to do wireless tapping on Americans now. Tulsi, you had us all blindfolded and baffled for so long, but we see you now. We're not bamboozled anymore. So Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, created the Forum of Young Global Leaders in 2004 to help the world meet increasing complex and interdependent problems. So yeah, there you are. There's some of them, and of course there's Zuck. And David D. Rothschild. We have a Rothschild story coming up in the conspiracies that we need to talk about. Remember the one that burned up in the fire like 6 weeks ago? Maybe not a Rothschild. Weird. Anyways, let's hear from Whitney Webb. Whitney Webb, always on top of it.
Western countries all on board for Agenda 2030. The people in charge of climate finance for the UN, Mike Bloomberg, the billionaire, and Mark Carney. I think your viewers know enough about Mark Carney to know why that's insane, and to think that Mark Carney and Jamie Dimon and Mike Bloomberg and Bill Gates and all of these guys just care so much about the planet and not about robbing you of all of your wealth, which is what they've spent their entire careers doing. I just remember how Jamie Dimon a few months ago was like, well, we should just seize people's private
Yes, I brought you guys that clip.
Climate change policy.
Just take it.
Remember that? Like, private property doesn't exist to Jamie Dimon. If his friends at Goldman Sachs, who basically designed all this crap that the UN is backing, and green finance and blue finance for Mother Earth and whatever, if those projects decide that they want your property, I guess they'll just turn off your money or whatever and take it. I mean, do you really want to give these guys total control?
Nobody wants to give them control. They're just taking it. And I found this oldie but goodie. This is from 1992. We're going to take the Wayback Machine. Back when Nancy Pelosi was just a mere sniveling little millionaire, not a billionaire. Yeah, she really stepped up her insider trading game. Let's hear what she has to say about Agenda 2021 and how she was pushing it back then. And wait till the end when you hear how she's talked to the foreign agencies and foreign policy. Like, what? Okay, just listen.
The Earth Summit Environmental Leadership Act, as this is known, presents us with an opportunity to follow up on the important work of the Earth Summit to develop its blueprint, Agenda 21, for global environmental action. HCON Res 353 outlines a comprehensive national strategy for sustainable development in accordance with the principles of Agenda 21 to be coordinated under the leadership of a specific office and at the direction of a high-level government official. The resolution also urges the United States to identify and initiate further agreements to protect the global environment and to support the creation of a high-level United Nations Sustainable Development Commission headed by an Undersecretary General. Third and lastly, the President is urged to report to Congress on the progress made on with this action. HCON Res 353 is supported by the administration. I have been in contact with the appropriate offices of the State Department and have incorporated their suggestions into the resolution. The 71 co-sponsors of this measure include one-half the members of the Foreign Affairs Committee and all of the House delegates to the Earth Summit. It is also supported by the major United States non-governmental organizations concerned with the environmental issues. The Earth Summit presented world leaders with an opportunity that should not be lost. We must now embark on a new course that will sustain our planet and its resources for the benefit of future generations. This resolution calls on the United States to assert its leadership to achieve this goal. I urge my colleagues to support this resolution. Thanks again to the members of the Foreign Affairs Committee for their recognition of the importance and timeliness of this resolution. We must make the promise of Rio a reality. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, God. So there you are. They've been working on this plan a long, long time. And, yeah, I thought that was pretty pertinent to bring in. And let's talk about Agenda 21 and exactly what it was. So one world government, one world cashless currency. Oh, we've talked about that a lot. One world central bank. Oh, that's already happening. One world military. Oh, that would be the U.S. military. The end of national sovereignty. They've wanted that for a long time. TPP, come on now. And this is all private owned property. The end of all private owned property. Now, could this be possibly what's happening in California, Pacific Palisades? Maybe. The end of the family unit. Well, they've done a good job on that one. Depopulation, control the population growth and population diversity. I think this is kind of blurry. And mandatory boop boops. Oh yeah, they're working on that. Now remember, this wasn't just rolled out. This is something they've been working on since the 90s. Microchip society for purchasing, traveling, tracking, and controlling. Implementation of a world social credit score like China has. Trillions of appliances hooked to 5G monitoring systems. Let's see, government-owned and controlled schools, colleges, and universities. Well, that's already happening. And the end of private transportations, owning cars. Oh, shit, I forgot to get that clip of that car driving around in circles. Let's see. All businesses owned by government and corporations, the restriction of non-essential air travel. Yeah, who can afford to fly the friendly skies when you're going to fall out of them anyways? And human beings concentrated into human settlement zones, and they call them cities, right? The end of, is that irrigation? I can't see it. It's too blurry. And the end of private farms and grazing livestock. Oh, yeah, they're working on that one. The end of the single family home, restricted land use that serves human needs, and the ban of natural non-synthetic drugs and neuropathic medicine. And I can't read the last one, but yeah, these are all things that they've been working on. And let's hear a little breakdown of it.
This is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals,
Greenland,
all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. Because when systems don't meet, when they're out of balance or not in sync with one another, they can't be controlled centrally. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. Every nation that signed on to Agenda 21 has its local Agenda 21 plan. People in the United States are completely unaware of this. If I go out and talk about this, the United States press will attacks me and calls me, which is totally ridiculous. It is, but it's not a theory. It's a fact. The three pillars of United Nations Agenda 21 are economy, ecology, and equity, the three E's. And everyone sort of thinks that they know what that means, the idea of social equity. It must mean that, everyone's going to have access to clean water and clean air, and no one's property is going to be used as a dumping ground because they are at a poverty level. But really what social equity is about impoverishing huge portions of the population and bringing down the developed nations. Everything that we're looking at now is destined to collapse our economies. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. And what major corporations want in this development is to be able to have full movement of workers without borders or boundaries, to be able to move their goods through without regulations, and to reduce wages. And so this is the goal. So this is what you find with social equity. And of course, economy and ecology is about, these are the three circles: economy, ecology, and social equity. And where they meet in the center is balance. But really that balance is a communitarian balance. So it's not balance of well-being of the people. What it is it's a balance for corporations so that they can exploit and control and have populations in an area, in tightly packed, dense areas, so that they can be surveilled and managed. And this is what that balance looks like as far as the development of a totalitarian state is. The mainstream media is owned by 5 major corporations, and you're not going to get this information from the mainstream press. So you need to be your own press. You need to educate yourself.
We are
You
our
need to
own
get
press.
out there and educate your neighbors, your community, your real community. You need to help your children understand that they're being indoctrinated from pre-kindergarten to
kids.
postgraduate school. All of us have a responsibility to ourselves and to others. This is true community, to work for personal freedom. And always remember that even though we work as a group, if we do work as a group, we're all individuals in those groups, and we answer only to ourselves. And this is essential. It's essential as free human beings. This is what we are. We are free, and we need to continue to be free. And I do believe that we will win, but we have to become aware that there is a fight, and then make our friends and our neighbors and our community aware as well, and work together.
That was a great breakdown of Agenda 21 and how long they've been working on it since 92. And of course, we know who got elected in 92. That would be the crusty ass Clintons. And they've done a good job of rolling it in and staying in power all these years. Because come on, we know even with Biden in office, who was actually in control. And it wasn't Obama. We all pretend like Obama had some power, but Obama was just a puppet who did what he was told and was owned by the likes of Citibank and Goldman Sachs. Just like Hillary Clinton. And you know what's scary is with these quantum computers. Now, quantum computing is rolling out very, very quickly. They don't even tell us how quickly. And the NSA and all of these surveillance states' ability to keep quiet the way that they are surveilling on us is about to be blown apart by these quantum computers. So they need to get 100% control of us before, say, 2030, when that actually happens and we start seeing our lives being weaponized against us in a public manner. And I should do a deep dive on that because it is very, very scary how quickly we are going to roll into a totalitarian state because of quantum computing, and just how polluted it is to our environment for these big ass systems like quantum computing. I didn't bring you a breakdown on that, but I find it interesting. Let's talk about Israel for a second. And I think this one is how much money California actually gives to Israel.
I have a message to the people who are saying that the wildfires in California are karma for what is happening in Gaza. And this is coming from a Palestinian Gazan who might not see her house ever again as a result of the genocide, and whose family has lost a lot, and is still suffering the consequences. It's one thing to rejoice over a very specific example like James Woods, who's a Zionist that said that Israel is doing a good job in Gaza, but then it's another thing to say that everyone in California deserves this karma because of Palestine. I think it's a very harmful mentality because, again, it omits the doer. The doer in Gaza is Israel. The doer is corporations.
I did watch Y-Files.
Complex. All of
I love
these,
Hecklefish.
Governments and companies that are continuing the genocide because it's profitable. Governments, corporate greed, and Israelis are to blame for our genocide. You go to California, there are similar forces at play. The American government is to blame for not allocating enough resources to combat this. The corporations that are using fossil fuels like Exxon, like Chevron, they are to blame for causing this. Yesterday we talked about Nestle, how it takes water from California during drought season. It lobbies for that right. Those corporations are to blame. The Zionist pistachio company based in California that also takes so much of California's water and lobbies against bringing in Iranian pistachios to the US when Iranian pistachios are better. Those corporations are
They are better.
Let's focus on who is causing this. These are man-made things. Humans are ruining Earth.
Humans are ruining Earth, and she's absolutely right. We've got to stop buying from the wonderful company. We'll talk about it. And yes, Mastermind, I love you. I did watch Y-Files last night. I love Hecklefish. He cracks me up. That, he's kind of he tends to break on the left side personally when you watch his or watch when he, sits down with other people and shit. But I find his research on topics and conspiracies excellent. And I love how he uses Hecklefish as kind of the bad guy. So yeah, definitely go check out Y-Files. I've watched every single thing that he's ever produced and put out there. I think he does a great job. Let's see. What is this? Oh, Trump is not allowed in. These are the countries that Trump is not allowed into now that he is a convicted felon. Do you believe this? I don't.
Trump will not be able to visit these countries. Donald Trump is now a convicted felon. This means he won't be able to visit many countries that don't allow convicted felons to enter. No Canada or Mexico for Trump anymore. Cuba and the Dominican Republic are also off limits.
Because he was never going to go to Cuba?
Trump will not be allowed to enter Argentina,
Brazil, the end of the world?
Chile, or Peru. Trump can still travel to most African countries, except South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Tunisia, Egypt, Morocco, and Ethiopia. People in Great Britain and Ireland won't see Trump visiting either.
Oh, no.
The same goes for Ukraine, Turkey, Israel, UAE, and
Iran.
He
can't go to Ukraine even though
in
it's going to continue
Trump
the war.
will not be allowed to enter India, China, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, Cambodia, Nepal, Macau, the Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Indonesia. And last but not least, no Australia or New Zealand. If Trump weren't American and was convicted for the same crimes in another country, he would likely not be allowed to enter the United States.
Oh my God, how stupid. I don't believe it. Yeah, he's the freaking leader of the free world. They're going to let him in wherever he wants to go. That's just dumb. Anyways, thanks for the money and the bombs. No problem, bro. Israel first. All of Congress is Israel first. I don't care if you're left or you're right. And did you hear that one of Trump's national security advisors wants to continue the war in Ukraine? So here we go again with Trump saying one thing and then his administration's going to be doing a total another. This is the worst cancer I've ever seen, and it is Israel. Absolutely. This is a comedian. I thought this was kind of funny. Let's check it out.
Where? Israel. Cool. Where in Palestine are you from? Any other country?
Israel.
Where?
Here, Israel.
Where in Israel?
Right here.
Yeah. This is not Israel here. So I'm from right here in Israel. Wow, no wonder why there's so much conflict with Palestine. Like, yeah, everywhere we go is Israel. Doesn't matter. We build settlements down here. Yeah, that's Israel. We take a plane to New York. Hey, that's Israel too. Okay? Wherever we go, Israel. Okay.
That was pretty funny because that is the reality of it. U.S. is more Israel than Israel will ever be. And I was watching History Channel, which we all know History Channel shit. We've called it out for freaking a decade now. Anyways, it was some Nostradamus predictions, whatever, for 2025. Clickbait, basically. And it was just playing in the background. I don't even think I played it. I think it just started playing on its own. And I couldn't believe how slanted it was towards the support of Israel, talking about the West Bank and how they've been trying to take the West Bank away from Israel for all this time. And the poor Israel, it was just crazy. I was like, wow, I never noticed that before in all my years of watching History Channel, because I loved History Channel. It used to be my go-to channel back in the cable days. Let's see, what is this? TikTok. Let's talk about TikTok. TikTok is leaving. And why is TikTok leaving? Well, that would be because of Israel. But are they really leaving? Do you guys think? Let me know in the chat if you think that they will actually be gone.
Well, here's a twist that I don't think anybody was anticipating. It turns out that it doesn't matter if you still have the TikTok app on your phone on January 19th, because there won't be anything to access. TikTok said yesterday in an announcement they will cease operations in the United States January 19th if the ban takes effect. So they're not going to just try to ride this out. They're calling the bluff. They're saying, sure, you want to ban us? We'll show you what it's like to not have TikTok. See how it affects your population. See how your people feel about it. See how the economy reacts. See how everyone reacts to it. I'm proud of them for standing on business and not being bullied with this threat and not being manipulated. Hopefully, this signals to the court that they're not going to win this PR stunt and that they need to stop this case now. Because the thing is this is not a reasonable or legal or constitutional decision. It's a political decision, clearly. It's about economics and it's about control. And I'm proud of TikTok for standing up.
Okay, we've heard enough. Let's hear this one. I don't think this is the one I wanted to, but here, let's listen to it.
Hey Americans, did you actually know that the state of California itself contributes a total of $610 million? $610 million of taxpayer money to Israel every year. And this is the most out of every single state in the US. With the city of LA itself contributing a total of $50 million from the taxpayers' money to Israel per year. And this is the most out of every single city in California. While the city of LA, the same city, just recently cut a total of $17 million from the Los Angeles Fire Department. Do you want me to repeat that for you again? I think it's worth a repeat. California, state of California, since 610
Wow. Who knew they gave them that much? You know, I'm not surprised, though. That's not shocking. California pistachio billionaires funding Israel's occupational regime. Why is that? Because they don't want Iranian pistachios coming in and ruining their good thing that they've got, right? These Resnicks are terrible people. Of course, they own Fiji Water. They own the pistachio company, Stephen Colbert, Halos, the little tangerine thingies, Teleflower. God, the Teleflower dude, when he sold that company, he got screwed over 10 ways to Sunday, because don't forget that Katy Perry bought his house and kicked him out or some shit. Remember that crap? Anyways, let's hear from Miss Resnick herself. She was apparently a child actor who was in The Blob. Did you see that?
When we bought Fiji Water, people weren't worried about traveling over the ocean and, you know, wasting fuel and blah, blah, blah. Later, it became very important, and people used bottled water as the poster child for, you know, the new green movement. Whatever. whether you agree with that or you
Whatever.
don't agree with that. But the fact that this water isn't available anywhere else on the planet was a good thing to fall back
So
on.
we stole the natural
Because
resource
you
and we're
can't
selling it
find
back to
water
you.
this old that has been safe from the pollutants in the air and the ground like Fiji water.
But you also
Like all the chemicals that we dump on our crops. Yeah, those type of pollutants. Yeah, no, not at all. They're not terrible people. And yeah, they fund a lot of Israeli occupational stuff. Not sure what this is. Some of this stuff has been on here for weeks, so I'm just as surprised as you are.
Well, I know for sure Al Qaeda has a massive terror attack plan.
Oh, yeah.
They have it
That's
slotted
right.
for 2025. It could move, like the Hamas attacks got pushed a year. But
Al-Qaeda's
it's going
coming
to be
for us.
multi-city. It's going to be a swarming attack. So that's kind of like we saw with the Mumbai bombings or some in the Hamas attacks as well. They're going to have about 10% of the attackers be suicide bombers, and they're going to bomb airliners. So there will be a very large-scale attack on the U.S. homeland. Does it all occur in a day? I'm not sure. But the terrorists are already here. The plan is operational.
Oh, there you go. There you go. It's already happening. You guys, we got to be on alert. We got to be on alert. I'm not going to probably play this, but did you guys see that 3 days before Christmas, the New York Times decided to put out what it would look like the aftermath of a nuclear strike? I guess we got time to play it. Let's play it. Merry Christmas from the New York Times. How fucking weird and eerie was this?
Look on top of that truck. That's a nuclear warhead. We're going to show you what would happen if even just one tactical nuke was used today. This scenario is not fiction. This story is precise, derived from interviews with military officials and nuclear scientists who say we're speeding towards the next nuclear arms race.
Speeding towards what? We're already there.
Just minutes after launch, the nuke is traveling at blistering speeds. Within a millisecond of detonation, the weapon's plutonium core converts into ionized gas in electromagnetic waves. Everyone in range is briefly blinded. Then comes the roar of 9,000 tons of TNT. Almost instantaneously, a massive fireball blooms. It's hotter than the surface of the sun. On the ground, nearly everything flammable ignites. For miles, the inferno rages, consuming so much oxygen that anyone nearby suffocates. Then comes the blast wave.
This is what they put out 2 days before Christmas. Looking forward to the new year, apparently. Oh, the things we have to look forward to. Yeah, look for the helpers, Mr. Roger. I'll probably take a strike from them. We're not going to watch that whole thing. How morbid. Why would you put that out 2 days before Christmas, New York Times? So freaking crazy. Just looking forward. Oz, I see you're keeping up with me on the deck. Thank you. Let's talk about Richie Medhurst. Richie Medhurst could face 14 years in prison if he does not hand over his passwords to his electronic devices to the British police. This is obscene threat to journalism, and British media is totally silent on it. Richie, you should have moved to New York a long time ago. This is terrible. Not that it would be any better in New York. Come on, Julian Assange. We know better, but that's terrible. Terrible that they are breaking into stuff. A lot of people call him he has a handler anyways, but I don't know. I've always thought that his reporting was pretty straightforward. I mean, does he have an agenda? Well, as a Syrian, he has a preference, I would think, but yeah, just what's coming. Did you see this? Okay, I couldn't help but think of, do you guys remember years ago when I used to bring you the CGI shorts over on Beauty and the Boomer? And we went through that whole series where it was a dystopian, totalitarian future, and nobody had faces. Everybody had to wear these like blank masks. And then I happened to rewatch Hunger Games the other day, the whole series. And what did you notice that the servants, aka slaves, in the capitals had to wear these type of masks too? But these people are voluntarily wearing them. Check this out. This is so they can beat surveillance, the surveillance state. This is just creepy. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm so not doing that. Okay, so they say it's to beat out the cameras from being picked up by the cameras. I don't know about that, but I don't always say I told you so. But when it's due, I do. It's because I told you so. I went back and tried to find that CGI series. Do you guys remember that? It was really creepy. Anyways, Bill Clinton collected $12 billion for his memories. Hillary Clinton got $8 million for hers. That's $20 million for the memories of two people who for years have repeatedly testified under oath that they can't remember anything. Great point. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I brought you a James Corbett. What is James Corbett covering? I can't remember, but I'm sure it'll get my ass kicked on YouTube because YouTube does not like James Corbett. Oh, that's right. It's Elon Musk. Yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Well, here's the question for you, Ernie. Why do your friends who know about the fundamentals and investing continue to get caught on their shorts against Elon's companies? Why is that?
Because he's a made man and somebody's kissing his butt and helping something.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. That is the answer. Why? Yeah. Any other businessman would have been dead 100 times by now, bankrupt-wise. But somehow Elon Musk is the cat with 99 lives. How is that? Yeah, because he is a made man. And here's the latest example of this, just in case you missed it from the Wall Street Journal earlier, or just last week. Elon Musk's SpaceX Pentagon to deepen ties despite dispute on Starlink funding in Ukraine. Yes, of course. This whole thing, the U.S. government's going to stop him from taking over Twitter because they don't like his geopolitics and all this. All of it is a smokescreen for the fundamental point that Starlink is a military/intelligence cutout. That's what it is. That's why it exists. He is not there to take you to Mars. He is there to put the Pentagon spy satellites up in space through a third-party proxy that they can distance themselves from as they need be, and they will throw him under the bus when he becomes no longer a serviceable part of their agenda. And anyone who believes otherwise is not paying attention. Not only is he the World Economic Forum global young global leader of 2008, so if that's the metric by which we're measuring all people these days, well, he's a young global leader. He's a Davos minion. But more to the point, he's doing everything in the Davos agenda, from brain chips to UBI to global carbon tax. He is pimping it. And yes, as you mentioned, working on the AI nightmare of the future. And again, this isn't the Jarvis whatever system where you get to control it. It's going to be fundamentally controlled by, well, Musk would like to think Musk's corporations, but more to the point, the people who are pulling his strings and allowing him to do what he does.
Yeah, don't think for 1 second that President Elon is in control of fucking anything. He is given orders just like everybody else. He is allowed to be the number one DARPA darling in the freaking world for a reason, because he's controllable. And when he does decide to push back for real on these guys, they're going to take his money away from him. And that's the reality of how this goes down. So, I hear all these leftists just going off, and a lot of them are my friends. Oh my God, President Elon controls everything. Like, no, Elon is doing what he is fucking told and designed to do. And wake up, man, wake up. Dick's Burgers in Seattle just upped their minimum wage $21. It gives workers free health care, 3 weeks of paid vacation, 50% of 401k match, and $9,000 for tuition and childcare. Its basic burger costs $1.80. Wow. I haven't ate at Dick's Burgers in 20 freaking years, but good for them. Good for them. And homelessness rates in Washington state have risen by 18%. Homeless rates in the U.S. have risen by 18%. Did you see this report that dropped right after the week after Christmas? 18 fucking percent. I mean, what does that put us at? 35% of people are homeless now. I mean, they want to say it's at 800,000, maybe 750,000. Bullshit. We're talking in the millions. Millions of Americans are fucking homeless right now and freezing across this damn country. I want to say this is a local channel from Washington State.
Now at 6, Washington State's homelessness rate continues to rise and is now among the highest in the country. This is according to a new study just released today by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Yeah, the surge comes despite the fact that billions of dollars have been spent in the past decade to reduce the trend. KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels has looked through the lengthy report and talked to experts. He now joins us live with more tonight. Chris?
Yeah, Hannah, some good news. The number of homeless veterans across the country has dropped, and in Washington state, the number of homeless youths are also on the decline. But otherwise, every metric is pointed in the wrong direction. On a dreary day, when tents don't dot the landscape like years before, Sarah Rankin says the visuals don't paint a full picture.
But the bulk of the iceberg is not visible to folks.
The Seattle U professor is the founder and director of the Homeless Rights Advocacy Project.
We know that the single most reliable predictor of homelessness is the cost of housing. And we've been suffering from a major housing affordability crisis in Washington and throughout the country. So the spigot is constantly turning up.
The HUD annual.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. I don't want to get into the drugs and everything that contributes to it. The number one factor is unobtainable housing in this country right now, especially in Washington state. Every day on Facebook, I see rental properties that go up because I follow a lot of local groups, and we're talking $1,500 to rent a fucking room, in somebody's fucking house. Like, it's a 10 by fucking 12 room and $1,500. That is just mind blowing. Every day I'm shocked. You want to rent a house, you're looking at $3 fucking grand, and that's for a crappy falling down, nothing spectacular. We have to do something about it. I named Microsoft after my penis. Yeah, we probably already knew that, but thanks for sharing. Did you know California changed the law? So you know how California had the $995 or above for a felony to even get arrested for shoplifting or stealing in California? Well, they had a new proposition pass the last election, and it is now a crime, period. And it's really shocking people all over California because they thought they could just go in and steal $1,000 worth of shit and get away with it. And they're learning real quick they can't. Let's see. Is that
the arrest for shoplifting?
Operation Ugly Sweater.
The sweater stolen?
Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies in the Organized Retail Theft Unit are undercover this week.
We're watching 2 businesses
Searching for shoplifters showing up in stores alongside paying shoppers buying gifts.
It's a little
for the
late.
holidays.
The businesses have already closed.
Prop 36, we now have the ability,
locked up everything.
with 2 previous convictions, even if they're misdemeanor convictions, to be able to charge someone with a felony regardless of the dollar amount.
Before Prop 36 went into place
Prop
Wednesday,
36.
suspects arrested for stealing merchandise under $950 only faced a misdemeanor. And it didn't matter how many previous tickets they had. They didn't spend any time in jail and could keep on.
It's a good thing they're building a super jail in LA.
About the fact that they know that theft
Right
in the state
out of
California
fucking the cartoon on
$950 is a misdemeanor.
Cartoon
they
Network.
Have no problem telling us, well, I didn't steal a felony amount. This is day 2 of
Guess
Prop
you're
36 going into effect.
Now, as deputies prepare for another day of stopping retail theft.
Some of them are starting to pick up on the fact that Prop 36 means they're actually going to physically go to jail, so they may try and run a little bit harder.
They have more ammunition to keep repeat offenders out of stores.
Definitely.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think this is going to help the shoplifting issues that are going on in all over the Western Seaboard? I mean, you can't just say it's California because Washington State's just as bad. Everything's locked up here. Yeah, I did see a couple of videos of people in the back of cop cars going, "What do you mean it's a felony?" Like, oh shit. Yeah, too little too late. And they are building a super jail in the middle of LA, which is going to be like no fucking prison we have ever seen before. And I couldn't help but think of that cartoon that was on Cartoon Network for many years called Super Jail, where it was terrible cartoon. And I have a feeling it'll be much like that. This is probably one of my favorite pushbacks I've seen on the police. You guys know I love to bring you guys these videos, people knowing their rights and pushing back. Check this one out. This one's a little lewd.
You're gonna need to get your fucking hand off my fucking camera right now.
I apologize.
Get your fucking hand. Don't cover my fucking camera. Listen, bitch. Don't cover my fucking camera. Don't cover my fucking camera!
I thought I just had
Ever! No, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Don't fucking cover my fucking camera, cunt! What the fuck do you want?
Okay, there's no need for that name calling,
Fuck
dog.
you, bitch! So you know what? There's no need for you to be all secret shady covering the fucking camera! What do you fucking want, bitch?
That's an officer safety protocol that we usually
No, oh really? No, for my safety protocol, you ain't covering my fucking cameras. You're violating my fucking constitutional rights. What the fuck do you want?
I am here to talk to you. Are you home?
Fuck you.
Are you home?
Get the fuck off. Get the fuck off my property. You got a fucking warrant? Get the fuck off my fucking property.
I actually do have a warrant.
Whoa, really? So. Get the fuck off my property.
It's just a scam.
Bye, you fucking cunts. Bye, get the fuck off my property.
Are you home to come out and talk with me?
Yeah, bitch, I'm inside hiding from you. That's what I fucking do, you dumb cunt. Get the fuck off my fucking property, man. You know how many times you guys have accused me of hiding in the fucking house from you? Get your fucking hand off my fucking camera and get your fucking get away from my fucking camera. Get the fuck off my property. Right now, get the fuck off my property. Get the fuck off my property. What do you not fucking comprehend? Show me a fucking warrant, cunt. You got a warrant? Show me a fucking warrant.
Dawn, you're losing connection, ma'am.
Fuck you fucking ugly cunt. The fuck off my fucking property.
Are you able to restart or something?
No. Get the fuck off my property.
Are you home right now?
Bye, bitch, and take all your fucking faggot fucking friends with you. Bye, cunt.
It's just a few of us
Bye.
here.
Fuck you. I don't give a fuck who's there. Nobody's welcome. Get the fuck off my property. You can stand on the fucking curb, and then you can show me your fucking warrant. But until then, I suggest you get the fuck off my property, bitch. This ain't fucking Ruby Rigs 2. Get all you little fucking pigs off my property. Get the fuck out of here, all you little faggot-ass fucking cops. fucking coward cunts.
No need for that name call.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch. You pointed fucking ARs at me. Fuck you, cunt. Can't wait till the fucking, yeah, fuck you.
Apparently, that's how it's done. I didn't see a warrant. Did you see a warrant? Kind of funny. They said they had a warrant, but they never fucking produced one and they left. So, yeah. Know your rights. Know your rights in this country because you're going to need them sooner than you think, probably. Can you guess what the number one concern for small business owners has been for more than 30 years? The cost of health insurance, cost of health insurance, cost of health insurance, cost of health insurance. And let's see, Medicare for All would free small businesses from the burden of healthcare costs. Absolutely. We've been saying that forever. Patty Murray sending out a email on Christmas to let us all know that it's because of her that Medicare Part D and the Inflation Reduction Act is going to cap prescription drug costs at $2,000 a year, because that's doable for most Americans living on Medicaid and Medicare. Fuck all the way off, Patty Murray. And yeah, definitely wanted to remind you of that. A teacher battling cancer ran out of sick days, so school employees showered him with theirs. What if, hear me out, we didn't have a system that required a person to battle cancer to rely on the generosity of their colleagues for sick days? Yeah, just imagine. Imagine if we had a system like that. You guys remember this video? Oz and I brought it on Saturday. It's a video of a doctor who got called out of the middle of a surgery by United Health and asked if her client or if her patient really needed the surgery. And when she said, yeah, she has breast cancer, the dude said, oh, well, that's a different department. I wouldn't know that. So Professor Zinka says, instead of banning the private health insurance industry, which would kill 68,000 Americans each year, Joe Biden, Harris, and Congress are about to ban TikTok, the place where Americans go to share information about the murderous healthcare and health insurance industry. They are afraid of us. They're afraid of us on many different fronts is why they want to get rid of TikTok, right? I mean, we got an Israel problem. We've all seen that video. They want to shut us up about the truth about Israel and Gaza. They want to shut us up about the truth about everything, and that's why TikTok's gotta go. Let's see. A physician collegial insurance will not cover her anti-nausea meds. Yes, Zofran for her chemo. It is $280.40 cash for 30 pills at Walgreens. I logged into a physician's hospital medical supply company, and you can buy 30 pills for $3.30. That is a 8,500% markup. I end up taking Zofran pretty much on a daily basis nowadays, and have for couple, the last probably 3 months, 2.5 months. As soon as I get nauseous, like right now, I'm not feeling too great. My stomach's kind of hurting, and that's insane. My insurance is actually covering this one for me, but my insurance has let me know that it will not pay for my pain medication, and I am having a hell of a time with pain medication right now because there is a national shortage. Intentional national shortage on morphine sulfates. So any types of morphines, long acting, short acting, it doesn't matter. None of my local pharmacies can get it. And because you're only allowed to use one pharmacy because you might be pharmacy shopping, I can't call up multiple pharmacies and be like, do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? So since 2 or 3 days before Christmas, I have not been able to get the morphine that is provided to me to control my pain long acting. And so therefore, my doctors have been prescribing oxycodone and have upped the amount that I have to take to try to compare, which it doesn't compare. I hate morphine. I've always told you that. I think it's a dirty drug, but it has helped with my pain control. And I have been unavailable for the last almost 4 weeks to actually even find any. And my pharmacist says, oh, there's a national shortage. They're doing it on purpose. It's a way for the DEA to control what's out there. And then immediately my insurance company goes, yeah, whoa. We don't want to pay for this amount of the oxycodones. So what is my doctor's, suggestion to the problem, to solve the problem? Well, let's put you on fentanyl. I have turned down 2 doctors now who have suggested that I go on fentanyl. I'm like, dude, I do not want to go on fentanyl till it's absolutely freaking necessary. I'm trying to get better and heal and get my life back, not get sicker and get pulled into addiction, which I have addictive personality. I know once I start with fentanyl, it's all over. So I refuse to go. And this is just absolutely gross. It's disgusting the way they have control over prescription drugs. Being poor now just leads to being poor later. Can't pay to clean your teeth. Next year, pay for a root canal. Yeah, don't be doing root canals. Can't pay for new mattress. Next year, pay for back surgery. Can't pay for a lump check out. Next year, pay for stage 3 cancer. Poverty charges interest. Absolutely. Let's see. If you are not on a watch list already and haven't been on the correct side of anything ever, expressing sympathy for Mangione online can get you on an extreme watch list. Well, we're already on some major watch lists here at the trailer park, and kind of proud of it. JB has an excellent point about all of us who were on. You guys know I was on foot for 8 months last year, and it's only because of your kindness and your support that I am no longer on foot. But how it taxes the poor by taxing our time to be on foot, because you have to take extra long to get anywhere you need to go, right? And we all know JB has got his own share of terrible health problems and issues. And he has to travel a lot to medical appointments. Let's hear from JB.
I got to say something.
Oh, I got to turn it up.
When people don't realize is some of you don't know that there's also a time tax. That is placed on the poor and working poor. For instance, I'm at the bus stop right now, so yeah, just got done with the doctor's appointment. But the issue is that it's going to take me, where it would take me about 15, 20 minutes by car, it's going to take me an hour and 45 minutes to get home.
Yep.
So that's a time tax that's also placed on those of us who are poor and working poor. And so then in the time that it would take for us to be able to get home and do what we need to do, go to work, take care of kids, cook, eat, that time is actually spent on taking a bus to where we need to go. And so when you don't have the convenience of getting to a place faster, that's another variable that people don't talk about, is that the time that it would take for us to be able to get to work and get our job done and get more hours, well, some of that time is taken up by taking the bus or being able to cook a healthy meal at home, or to be able to spend more time with family, friends, kids, or what have you. So when it comes to those of us who are poor and working poor, just make sure to keep that in mind.
I do keep that in mind because I had to deal with it for so very long myself. And I'm so sorry that he is suffering that way too. And it's 100% true. Time tax on the poor. Terrible. Boy, we didn't even make it through half of this deck. I think I'm going to skip down and we are going to hit Conspiracy Corner. And let's see, what conspiracies do we have? Oh, look at this. P. Diddy's California mansion has been completely consumed by fire. It should be noted that the House would enter into the investigation in a couple of days where many names would be involved in the case. Unfortunately, that is no longer possible. Aw, damn the luck. He's got all the luck, right? A lot of people talking about the tunnels, especially under the Getty Museum. If you know what I know, you definitely know. And we're hearing that from Dr. Stephen Greer, right? You guys follow Dr. Stephen Greer? I don't know if I believe him. He's got a big ass ego on him. I know Kimmy over at Kim Iverson, she always has him on. He's saying that we're going to get some kind of disclosure as Trump is inaugurated. Could you imagine if the aliens showed up to welcome Trump in? That would be fun. Yeah, let's hope that actually happens. Okay, so this is that Rothschild story. So you remember about 6 weeks ago, there was a fire in California, and it was supposed to be this reclusive Rothschild who lived there with all of his fancy cars and shit. Well, it turns out the guy might not even have been a Rothschild. So many questions. And I looked into this and I couldn't find shit. I mean, I could validate the story, but I couldn't find any information, any conspiracies of who this guy was. It's just weird.
After this Hollywood Hills home caught fire and a man known to neighbors as Will Rothschild, a billionaire member of the famed Rothschild family, was found dead inside, the picture of who this man really was is beginning to come into focus. It turns out 87-year-old William de Rothschild used to be William Kaufman of Oregon. The LA Times reporting he changed his name in the 80s.
Hi, is this Richard?
It is.
Hi, Richard. Sorry to bother you. This is Jory Rand calling from ABC7 in Los Angeles.
Tonight we reached out to Richard Kaufman, brother to William de Rothschild, who had no idea his brother was even alive.
I thought he had passed away 40 years ago.
He hadn't, and had been quietly living in Laurel Canyon, somehow living like a billionaire with multiple properties and dozens of luxury vehicles on elevators inside his garage.
Those I saw with my own eyes, so they're there.
So where did the money come from?
Your guess is as good as mine.
That is just weird. Isn't that weird? So weird. I'm going to keep an eye on this story, see if I can come up with anything else for you. It's just fucking weird. This guy supposedly dropped off 40 years ago, and then he pops up as a Rothschild, and then he had all this money, and he had the cars, and he's actually recognized by the Rothschild family, by Jacob, and it's weird. What? Just weird. Anyways, I just found that one that's a conspiracy. We need to talk about that one. And this one's weird too. So Aaron Rodgers won't stop talking about the Hat Man since his Anakuska trip. Not much is known of the mystery Hat Man, except for Aaron Rodgers first started seeing the shadowy figure after his Anakuska fueled trip in Peru during the 2020-2022 offseason. Aaron says he will sometimes appear in the distance, usually veiled by darkness, holding the corpse of a dead rabbit and sometimes a blade. Now, do you guys know the Hat Man theory? This Hat Man apparently pops up and he's seen. I will not dive down this one because I don't want this guy showing up in my dreams or showing up in my peripheral anywhere. So research this one on your own. And there's a lot of information out there. I used to really be into the, what do you call it? Like ghost adventures and shit like that. I'm actually friends with a lot of those people, like Ryan Buell and Bell, or, Buell, whatever you want to call him. Elfie. There's so many of these people that I was friends with. Yeah, there is a lot of information out there about this shadowy Hat Man who plagues a lot of people. So I don't want him coming anywhere near me, so I won't dive into it. I just thought it was weird. Okay, let's go to Hollywood Go Fuck Yourself. And remember, I said we were going to talk about Soundgarden because Soundgarden did a concert last weekend with a new lead singer. Now, nobody can replace Chris Cornell. Those who know. And if you love Soundgarden or any of the Audio Slave or Chris Cornell and his solo career, nobody can replace Chris. Well, guess who they found? A young millennial woman to do it. And this is how the concert went. honey, we old. All of us fans of Soundgarden, we're old. We got bad knees. We can't hold you up. What are you trying to do? There's no crowd surfing. I just thought, what the hell? They could never replace him. I was pissed when I saw this, and I was like, this has to be a one-off, right? This can't be their new lead singer. This is who they fucking chose. And can she sing? Yeah, she can sing a little better than who they replaced in Chester Bennington, but not very well. She is no Chris Cornell, and pissed a lot of people off. The internet was kind of on fire. So here is the community notes on it. And it says that this is not Soundgarden, which disbanded following Chris Cornell's death. This is Nude Dragons, which is comprised of the remaining members of Soundgarden and a singer, Shania Shepherd. They're playing here at a benefit concert. So this is real. They're not calling themselves Soundgarden anymore, but it is the remaining members of Soundgarden, and they're called Nude Dragons. Not a fan. You cannot replace Chris Cornell, and that is pertinent because we opened with Soundgarden this morning. So I know you guys are music lovers out there. It kind of broke my heart to see that. Cyndi Lauper, you guys know I was supposed to go see Cyndi Lauper over Christmas at the Christmas break, and I didn't go. I was too sick. My girlfriend was like, I do not want to be responsible for you catching something at a concert. And besides that, she has lost her freaking mind the last couple of months. I don't even know what she thinks she's rallying or fighting for right now. So, yeah, I didn't go. I was over it. Jim Carrey says he's emerging from retirement because he needs money. He needs money. Remember, he retired. He wasn't Jim Carrey anymore. That's sad. They all need money. How do you need money when you have that many #1 movie hits out there? I don't understand. What are you buying? Nicolas Cage? Come on now. Okay, we hit Meme Alley. Yay. Let's go through Meme Alley and get the hell out of here. It has been a long show. With everything going on, I can only assume that somewhere a hobbit is carrying a ring to a volcano. That's so true, right? You could do it, Mr. Frodo. 1981 versus 2025. I had long hair. Now I long for hair. Oh, that's so true. 8 tracks, cataracts, kegs, EKGs, streaking, leaking, acid rock, acid reflux, seeds and stems, fiber, Staying Alive the song, Staying Alive the goal, hope for a BMW, hope for a BM. That was pretty funny. Going to a new hip joint, getting a new hip joint, Rolling Stones, kidney stones, bell bottoms, big bottoms, disco, Costco, whatever, depends, rock and roll all night, sleep through the night, and think you know everything, think you know your name. Yeah, those are all pertinent if you are over 40 or 50. Remember, kids, it's strange. If a stranger offers you drugs, tell them to fuck off, especially if it is the government. Pretending not to know what is causing all the recent cardiac arrest, blood clots, and sudden adult death syndromes, I'm mark safe from. Yeah, we're mark safe from that shit. And let's see. Fuck this shit. I'm going to Wonderland. Can I jump on? We need to go to Wonderland. Who knew back in the 80s while we were playing with this that we were training for this? Dude, I have the biggest pill holder. Mine's like a 4-tiered one. My body hurts and I'm mad at the government. That about sums me up every day. And let's see. Okay, but all I have left is this resin. You go, Granny. You're never going to get that resin off your fingers. And 5 signs I might be a dragon. I hoard useless shiny things. I eat too much. I sleep too much. I don't like leaving my cave. No, not really. And I have an overwhelming desire to flame annoying human beings. Yes. And someone take grandma's yarn away. Yeah, that's funny. I had a couple of grannies that would knit you. You know, everybody would get scarves or hats for Christmas, that type of thing. Son, 4 years ago, we were using freezer trucks as morgues and wiping our asses with coffee filters. Anyone who thinks that we were better off then is a certified window licker. Yeah, that's true. But uses coffee filters to wipe their ass. That's nothing new. And 95% of drivers think that LED headlights are too bright and pose a risk to others. What do you think? I fucking hate LED headlights when I'm driving. Oh, they make me mad. Like, it's elitism, if you ask me. I started my multi-billion-dollar company in my parents' garage, their parents' garage. Oh, yeah. And elementary kids today have iPhones. Where I was their age, I was spreading glue on my hands and waiting for it to dry so I could peel it off. Come on, you did that too. Admit it, we all did. And a small act of kindness can make a big difference in the life of a stray animal, especially at this time of year, guys. It's cold out there. And rescuing cats is like the mafia. Once you're in, there's no getting out. That's true. I've got a new rescue cat. Her name is Bella, or Mur, because every time she meows, she goes, Mur. We're doing our best to keep her warm and keep her in the house, but my other cats fight with her. Anyways, yay, we made it through this deck. We made it through this show. I'm so glad to be back for a show. It's been really fun being here. Let's see. Oz and I are going to do a show on Saturday night, another Beauty and the Boomer. We had a good time on Saturday, so let's check it out. What is the cover card and what is the song this week? Oh, against all odds. Love it. Love that coat, too.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. When I stand here taking every breath with you. Ooh, you're the only one who really knew me at all. How can you just walk away from me?
Great hair. Oh, that was great hair for both of us, Oz. I love it. You guys, send some love out to my bestie, Oz. He is facing some serious health challenges, too. And fingers crossed, and we're praying that it is not as bad as it could potentially be. We will know more here in a couple of weeks. So prayers and thoughts out for him, man. I don't know why, health-wise, we are getting our asses kicked here at Beauty and the Boomer, but we are. To sell chemotherapy as therapy is mostly like the biggest deceit in the history of medicine. Whoever masterminded the chemo torture deserves a monument in hell. And I absolutely agree. There I am getting one of my chemo treatments. It was hell, and I'm trying to come out of it. They say it takes like 3 months. It's only been about 3.5 weeks since my last treatment. So as I get further away from it, hopefully I get stronger and I get better. But it's been great being here with you guys today. I can't thank you enough for joining me. As always, you guys want to help me out. You guys know where the links are. You guys know how to get a hold of me, and you guys do. So I'm super excited for the closer today. I've been sitting on this for a little bit. Anna Mara sent it to me, but also Drew and Marie over at Spiderland sent it to me. Please, please, please go over to Spiderland, their YouTube page, and just hit the follow button. Give them a follow. They're doing amazing work. I've featured their music on our shows before. They literally have Whitney Webb's books in their videos. They talk about everything that we talk about in their music. I've been saying for years now, where are the musicians? We've seen the Prophets of Rage and all those types of fucking sellouts. These guys are the real fucking deal. And they have been so supportive of me during my cancer journey, reaching out, giving me, encouraging messages. And we're going to have them on the show. They're going to stop by. I'm trying to, probably on Beauty and the Boomer is what I'm thinking. Please go follow them. You like Jesse Jett, you're going to love these guys. Their name is, and you can find them at spiderlandmusic.com too. Drew and Marie. Definitely check them out. I absolutely love them. Okay, let me see if I can find. Oh, there it is. I gotta find their song first. Let's restart it. Okay, there we go. Thank you to everybody out in the chats out there. I lost my Rockfinner Rumble. If you join me on any of the alternative platforms today, thank you so very much. And just glad to be back. We will work out all the bugs. And, Restream changed its thing. So it was kind of hard getting the show scheduled. But I'm glad it went off without a hitch. Anyways, I love all of you guys. I will see you guys Saturday night for Beauty and the Boomer. And we are going out with, I didn't get the name of this one on here. Anyways, you can go to spiderlandmusic.com and find all their music. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and I will give you guys a health day update at the end of the week or on Saturday night once I get my PET scan back. Anyways, have a great day, and remember, you're always welcome at the trailer park.
The committee, they want you to fall apart. The 300 right for you to lose. Get triggered and lose. Reasons to terminate you. Nothing they tell you is true.
Talk about the conspiracy always. The fact is we act upon them with fact check a false pledge. Around on the wheel, you in your comfortable small cage. Your spirit's getting robbed like liquor stores and Walgreens. Take the money and paint in this picture. Apathy is mantra in the folk gold figure. The kind of type of thing that makes a brother get triggered. All hail the thief that leave with no sentence. Petty misdemeanor, grab the merch and disappear. Played by the mind games of the fifth dimension. DA's officer to shoplifting dismissals. Restock and watch your shop get hit again. Give us something to believe in. Give us something to believe in. Government still give a shit about your freedoms. Give us something to believe in. Give us something to believe in. Give us something to believe in. Government's so interested in what you're reading. Give us something to believe in. Lawmakers, you $1 million homes to squat a seizure. CIA left to manipulate just how you see it. Illegals invading plots of poison, new WikiLeaks it. Left with primal action, scrap abortion from the Apple Store.
Now you're doomed to find you, leave us up open. For them to use, you left yourself wide open. To play our fool, now you'll find yourself broken. Now you power the committee. They want you to fall apart. The 300 right for you to lose. Get triggered and lose. Reasons to terminate you. Nothing they tell you is true. I wanna talk about the conspiracy always. The fact is we act upon them without checking false claims. Around on the wheel, you in your comfortable small cage. Your spirit's getting robbed like liquor stores and Walgreens.